Oh, we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lockdown Lunch with me, Kelly Ransom. This is week, I don't know. I've had it, pretty much had it, but I'm glad you're here. And if you're new for some reason, you haven't been watching this for the past month, I don't know why you have or haven't, but I started this to make sure that I stayed alive, basically. And two, you think I'm joking. And to invite people on to hear their different perspectives of what it's like living in lockdown during a pandemic. So thank you all for tuning in. I want to introduce today's guest, who I'm super excited to have. Please, everyone, give a warm welcome from behind your computer screens to Grace Haler-Murray. Hello, Grace.
Hi. Hello, Kelly. Thanks. I'm great. How are
you? Grace is coming to us live from Somerville, and she is an account manager, which we'll briefly talk about what that is, because apparently it's very boring.
Well, I mean, to most people, yes. Like when I describe what I do, I enjoy my work day to day, but like, yeah, it's definitely not a very sexy. It's not a very sexy job.
Right.
So.
Okay. What day is it?
It's Monday. It's May 4th, and I especially know the date only because everyone is posting their Star Wars memes. So
I haven't seen one yet.
You haven't? Oh my gosh, I've seen so many. Just May the 4th be with you. Even on the news this morning. Yeah. So
I'm not up on I got up at 7:30 and basically just like got ready and then started working immediately. So I haven't social media yet.
All right. So you saying you got up at 7:30. I'm sorry. I know that you're usually asking me questions on this, but I have to ask you, are you just like getting up at normal hours, like 7:30 throughout all this?
So it varies between 4 a.m. and 7:30. Anywhere in between that time.
Yeah.
What about you?
I have been going to bed way later and getting up later. So I try to drag my ass out of bed by 8:30.
That's good. No, that's good.
But generally, I roll out of bed like right around 9 and then just like log onto my computer, just looking like a hot mess. Like I'll wake up on and off between like 7 and 9 basically, and I'll check my phone because like I have Slack and email on my phone for work, and I'm like, all right, well, if I see something that like came in from a client I have in the UK or something that will motivate me to get out of bed, I will certainly do that. But generally,
what time have you been going to bed though? Because I would say I'm going to bed between 8:30 and 10.
Okay, yeah, I feel like I go to bed early if I'm in bed by 11:30.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What about before all this?
Before this, I was usually in bed by like 10:30.
That's still too. I'm a early bed, early rise, but that's a recent, in the past like 2 years.
Yeah, I've always liked to go to bed later, wake up a little later.
I've been having fantastically vivid nightmares that wake me up at 4 a.m. sometimes.
Oh, that's great. My husband woke me up when he was having a nightmare the other night, and it was because we think it's because he was running low on weed, so didn't smoke quite as much weed as normal. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and he was just going like, like so creepy.
That's
like
so creepy.
I know. I like slapped him away. Like, what are you doing?
I guess I woke up, I don't know, some night recently when like Chris was still awake and I had already gone to sleep, and I woke up and I went, Pickle, no! Pickle's my cat.
Yeah.
Like, what were you dreaming about? I was like, she learned how to open the front door and she was just leaving.
Oh.
Like with her paws though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm wondering, all the way in Somerville, how did it go? How did it go down for you? Were you like locked down when everyone else was, or?
Yeah. So in preparation for coming onto this, I was like, how long have I been in lockdown? So my work we had like a company-wide Zoom meeting on, I think it was March 16th or whatever the Thursday of that week was.
Okay.
They basically, like, we had a company-wide Zoom meeting and they were like, yeah, at end of day today, like all of our offices are closing. There's an office in London, Cambridge and Central Square, and then one in San Mateo out in California. And they were like, we're just closed for the foreseeable future. We're all very well equipped to work remotely, and we'll start reopening like when it's safe to do so. So yeah, we've been home since then. And my husband, Matt, he already had been working from home multiple days a week because his office is in Milford, Massachusetts, which is
far.
No one really knows where that is. And you can just, it's far. It's like an hour drive from Somerville. So he was already working from home pretty often too, but then he was just like, all right, well, I guess I'm home like permanently now. So, and things I feel like didn't feel like, they obviously felt serious because we're all like, okay, well, offices are closed, but the social distancing thing didn't feel like super real quite yet. So we were like, oh, well, maybe there's like a select couple friends that we'll still hang out with throughout all this. So we did that weekend. And then after that, we were like,
oh, that's nice though, except we weren't supposed to.
Yeah, no, I know we weren't supposed to. And then we were like, the next week, like things just kept escalating. And we were like, nope, we're not seeing anybody anymore. We haven't seen any friends in person since.
Damn.
So yeah, we've been like super diligent about that.
That's good though.
Yeah, and like we haven't. If we run out of something during the week, like normally it's like, oh well, I'm running low on half and half for my coffee. Like let me just run to the store just to get that. Now it's just like, nope.
Well, I'm going. Chris is the getaway car, but I go. Yeah. I'll go every 3 weeks for like shopping.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's been multiple times that I know it's 3 weeks means that this has been going on for a really long freaking time.
Yeah. I'm the designated grocery store shopper because before all this went down, like I like grocery shopping. And I know. I just like it. I don't know. It's weird. The only time I don't like it is like if I wake up on a Sunday and I'm super hungover, and then I would use Instacart or something. But generally, like I like it. And so I just like know where everything is at the store, and I can just be like as efficient as possible.
We're going tomorrow, so I have to mentally prepare for that all day today.
Yeah.
Because the place I go in, West Roxbury, it was already a ring of hell before all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's...
Yeah. I've been going to the Stop and Shop on McGrath Highway in Somerville, and it's actually been like pretty good. And I've been going on Sundays, which at first I was like, oh, maybe this is insane because like it's the weekend, everyone's gonna be going. It's been fine. There's been no lines or anything. Like it's never super crowded.
Maybe
so
everyone kind of thought the same thing. Like on weekends.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I'm gonna try tomorrow morning. So you are an account manager.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
So I work at a software company that's like for marketing emails. So like you get 1 million marketing emails a day. Nice. Little do you know that a ton of thought goes into those emails, and like companies spend, a lot of money on their email service providers that push those emails out the door. There's like millions of subscribers. There's teams dedicated to building them. And so basically we're a QA software for before you send the email. And I used to work in email marketing. I used to send out all of Wayfair's promotional emails back in the day. Yeah. And it's actually I know. No, it's like super stressful to QA it, make sure that like all the links are working properly, all the images are correct, and no typos. And a ton of revenue is generated by marketing emails. Like it's one of the top ways companies make money.
I didn't know that.
E-commerce, like a ton of money. So they're really important, I guess, to companies. And so we have the software that like basically like checks your links for you, make sure everything renders properly across different email. Yeah, across like Gmail or Yahoo Mail, like on your iPhone, just making sure everything looks good because it's also really easy to break an email. And so I'm working with existing customers already, and making sure that they have adopted the software and are using it properly. And then they're on these yearly contracts. So I'm trying to make sure that they re-sign every year and that they try to make them pay more money, retain business. So
sounds awesome. And I was going to ask you how have you adapted from working from home, but like it sounds like a lot of what you do already would probably have been remotely.
Yep. And so my company also it was pretty lucky that it was already a remote first culture. So we have offices in London, Cambridge, and California. Over half of the employees are remote anyway. And like I was already working from home usually 1 to 2 days a week. Like I haven't been to my office on a Friday since like right after I started, which was in April of last year. It's just so it's just the company culture. And I have never had in-person meetings there. Everything has always been through Zoom because generally in your meetings, like there's already someone who is somewhere else in the country or world. So everything was just done through Zoom. So this for me wasn't a huge transition.
So your company is an example of this can work and we can keep doing this once it's all over.
Yeah. And so it's gotten to a point now too, where like before all this shit went down, I have friends who are like, oh, I think I'm going to like ask my boss if I can work from home tomorrow. I'm going to tell them I have XYZ going on. And I'm like, it's just so crazy that like, this is what people feel like they have to do to work from home. Like, what's the big fucking deal?
I've always wondered that. And I've always had the less popular opinion everywhere I've worked. Well, since I've been working in offices. So I've been back in offices for like 4 years.
Yeah.
You can't work from home when you're a cook, but now everyone's kind of getting on the Kelly train being like, oh, I'm saving all this money from commuting and you don't need to be in person for that meeting.
No. And I just feel like it's so much better for your mental health. Like it's just, it takes the stress out of commuting. Like that's such a huge waste of time for everyone.
I realized my dad did the math for me and now I forget the number, but I was basically, I don't want to talk about how I was commuting. I don't care. I do what I got to do to get where I have to go. But I was spending like $35 a day commuting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm not.
I know.
So
I think about like
I go back.
Yeah, right. I know. Well, I think about things too, like people who take the commuter rail, and the commuter rail is so expensive, and then it's packed. Yeah, and like not only do you have to pay the up to $400 a month for your card for the commuter rail, but then like you have to pay hundreds of dollars to park in the parking lots for the commuter rail too. It's it's absolutely insane. And then for me, I work in Central Square and I live in Winter Hill in Somerville, less than 2 miles away. But if I try to commute in during rush hour, it takes me like an hour. So what I was doing before this too, for the days that I was going into the office, I would start my day from home and I would work from home till about 10:30 and then head in. Just because then it takes like 20-25 minutes for me to get in without all the traffic. But it's like insane that like, it's like, oh, well, most people have to be at work by 9. So let me take like hours. It's so stupid.
My dad's reminded me, I spend 10 grand a year on commuting.
That's insane. Yeah.
But it's the same deal. I'm in Rosendale and I'm going to Roxbury, and I noticed I have it tell me every morning what my commute time would be.
Yeah.
It's gone from 35 minutes since before all this now to I've heard it be 14 minutes some mornings.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why? I also have this amazing idea that everyone just works from home and there's no more offices and we convert it all into housing.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
I know, as long as it's not like those shitty luxury condos that are $4,000 a month for a studio.
No, thank you. So I'm So excited to have you on today because I haven't had anyone on yet who's wanted to really talk about this, but I would love for you to tell me how fucked up the world is right now, because that's what you want to talk about.
Yeah, well, because I've been going on these rampages, like,
I love them,
like basically daily, especially since, you know, everything started going down. My alcohol consumption has gone up. And so like my husband and I will just like sit and like we're just like yelling at each other about like how fucked up everything is. But like we totally agree with like we're on the same page about everything, but it's just one of those things where we're just like so angry at shit. The passion, yeah. It's like, you know, from between the paycheck protection program and like how that's been going and how it's just like not fully working for all these small businesses because there's so many rules and so many guidelines in it. And then how like big corporations like chain restaurants with that are with backing have are able to get the small business loans because like, yeah, they're owned by franchisees who are paying for all of their shit. But then like the overall corporation isn't helping the franchisees at all, but they have like millions and millions or even billions of dollars in backing. It's like, that's super upsetting to me. These fucking protests are absolutely insane.
Whereas they're so stupid.
They're so stupid. And it like enrages me because it's all these people being like, you know, obviously storming the state capitals with their guns and like not listening to police officers and saying it's because they love their country. And it's all these white people. And then these are the same people who are super against Colin Kaepernick peacefully taking a knee during the national anthem because of policemen, or, you know, police shooting. And, I'm just being totally against the Black Lives. Oh, me too.
But not storming the Capitol.
But then like you also think of things like, the Black Lives Matter protests and how just everything escalates and then there's like tear gas thrown and you don't see that happening to any of these white people.
No, I mean,
the Capitol with their guns, and it's just like,
I could be saying something super whatever. I don't care. I think they're the protests that are happening now are just like thinly veiled white power.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Rallies.
Yeah, they totally.
That's what they look like.
Yeah, no, they totally do. And it just, it really, it makes me so mad. And at the same time, I'm like, I don't even know what to do because the issue just feels like so huge and it's like so far above my head and like what I can do. So like all I do is just get like really worked up and get super angry.
And drink.
And drink. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it feels that way because it is that way because it's systematic and we didn't create these systems and we can't collapse them by ourselves.
Right.
It is bigger. It's way bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just feels like there's so much unfair shit happening. Like so many people have lost their jobs. So many people are on unemployment. My old company, which was part of TripAdvisor called Smarter Travel, like it was my favorite job.
They closed the office, awesome. Right?
Yeah, the company was dissolved as of last week. Like so many of my friends have just completely lost their jobs.
Dissolved?
Like, dissolved, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it's so sad to see that, you know, so many people now are just like, I don't know what to do next. Like, sure, I have this severance package and I can collect unemployment, but like, what after that? Like the economy is just
out.
Like, yeah. Yeah.
Are you like, how are you dealing with or not dealing with like knowing that we are absolutely going into a Great Depression, a greater depression, the greatest depression?
Yeah, I am just trying to take things one day at a time.
I feel
it's really hard. I mean, I feel fortunate that both Matt and I are still employed right now.
Right now.
Right, but I feel like so many other people who had before all this like great job security like we did now all of a sudden are jobless with like a super competitive job market now because, you know, there are so many people who don't have jobs and so many companies are dissolving or downsizing, whatever. So I just try to take it one day at a time. and try not to plan too far in the future. Like we have savings that hopefully would be able to just help us out as much as possible. But it's scary. It's super scary because like we bought a condo back in October.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, well now we have a mortgage. So what do we do about that?
We're on the opposite. I mean, yes, it's less scary. We're in the opposite spectrum of that. Of we were preparing to move out. We live in the house that my husband, that Christopher grew up in with my mother-in-law, when we were preparing to like, phew. And now it's kind of like, nope, because he's laid off, and like I work nonprofit. I have no idea what next year is going to be like. Like, I think I did see a meme like last night. Like I think it's from Always Sunny. I don't know if it was actually a quote, but it was like, "Oh, look, all these new poor people. We're all poor people."
Yeah. Like, yes.
I know that's not funny, actually, but that's kind of how I feel. Like I've always been poor, so I'm like, "Oh, welcome."
Yeah, I think I just keep thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, well, how many other people are in the same boat as us? Like, if we were to both lose our jobs and we still have a mortgage to pay, like, well, something will have to give. Like, will everyone who this has happened to just like immediately become homeless? Like, who the fuck knows? I don't know.
How can it you? I think there would like be rioting, and I don't even know. I don't know.
I don't know
either. I actually have this conversation with like anyone except my like husband or my family.
Yeah.
So like, I have no idea.
I know, no, and the thing is like no one has a single idea of what they would do, and like the only people who wouldn't be impacted by this are like multimillionaires and billionaires.
Right.
So
we're be safe all along.
Yeah. So it's just
Do you have any? I know that you and I like to indulge in conspiracy theories. Have you heard any good ones? Are there any that you're like interested in? With this whole situation, even whether you believe them or not.
Yeah. I read. I have a friend whose aunt is a insane conspiracy theorist who this is like so off the rails where
I love it though.
You remember when Donald Trump tweeted Kofifi?
Yes.
It was like something like that was like that was a hint that this coronavirus was going to be a thing because like CO or COV stands for COVID, FE stands for iron, which like it was like I don't even remember like exactly what like what every meaning was, but it was just like she posted about it on her Facebook so proudly and was just like, Trump knew this was going to happen. He tried to give us hints about it, blah blah blah, and I was like, you are insane. You are absolutely.
I love these things. I love these things.
I know.
I heard the Kofifi one too.
Yeah.
But it was, and I don't, maybe it was a joke, but obviously the COV is COVID, and then like Fifi was in relation of a reference to a page number in a book where if you go to the page number in the book, it's about like Wuhan.
Yep.
What?
Like, yeah. What other ones have you heard? There's
a really deep, dark, crazy one though.
Tell me.
With the Illuminati and stuff.
Okay, I want to hear it.
So, I haven't gotten too deep into it. I've just seen it pop. It's actually, TikTok is like figuring me out because TikTok's been showing me lots of conspiracy theory stuff. But I think it's called like Andromeda or something. It's basically that the Illuminati and the elite are vampires, and they live off of children's blood. Or
I mean, I've heard about.
Plasma.
Yeah, no, I've heard about children's blood before. With I think it was like the Democrats drink children's blood. Yes, it's the Democrats. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And they're all like they have like children locked in caves and like. This is all the COVID and stuff is happening right now to distract us from them getting caught
Okay.
Eating children's blood so that they can stay alive forever.
Yep. Yeah.
So
and the Clintons, I know, and it's always that the Clintons are the one really like leading this and behind
this. Obama's her.
Yeah. It's so bananas.
I can't. It's
I know.
But like, I don't know if I could actually tolerate someone believing that in my life.
I know. I totally agree with you where I'm like, I'm entertained by seeing all these like crazy people on the internet. And yeah, like, but if anybody that I was friends with or like a family member who truly believed it, I would be, I don't know. I don't think I could handle it.
They're eating kids' blood.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's just not true.
So you think you said you would like to talk about how the powers that be are trying to kill us right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you just see assholes like Mike Pence going to the Mayo Clinic, not wearing a face mask, and then claiming that he didn't know that he had to wear one and that he's tested regularly, so he doesn't need to wear a mask. And it's just fucking infuriating.
The COVID response team.
Yeah. Or he might have someone else. I think Jared Kushner might have taken over that. I don't even know. It's like it's so bananas. But they're just basically like constantly putting out these messages that like Mike Pence isn't wearing a face mask at a fucking hospital. At a hospital.
Not funny. It's not.
I know, because then like all of the crazy Trump supporters in that whole base will just be like, well, why? Like it just sends that message to others that like they don't need to wear masks either, even though it's to protect everyone.
Well, even if it's someone who isn't necessarily a Trump supporter and they're just watching that and they see it, they're like, oh, the vice president's fine.
Yeah, it's just,
why shouldn't I? Like,
yeah, it's that sort of messaging. And then, as everything was unfolding, Trump was just saying shit like, oh, we're going to have packed churches by Easter. It's like, that's not true. Like and then just like the messages of like, well, the economy is really important. Like we just need to start opening shit back up because, basically we have to sacrifice some people for the good of the country, which is that's also what the Nazis did. So just saying, for the good of the country, we have to eliminate certain individuals. And so to me, it's just really scary. And a lot of people just believe it and go along with it. So it's just
I'm really curious to see how in 2 weeks the states that have been opening up kind of willy-nilly, how they're doing. Like, there are states that are doing it like, they're doing better than Massachusetts is. So they're doing the structured, little opening.
Yeah.
But then, like, I think, what was it, Georgia? Just like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's open.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to go well for them.
No, definitely not.
We'll see.
Yeah. And then like for anyone who is going out during all that, it's like, I wonder if any of them have a friend or family member or anything that actually works in a hospital.
Right.
Because I used to work at Mass General, like right after I graduated college. I worked as a floor secretary, but like I'm still friends with all of these nurses on Facebook and like they're all still working there. And then I have a couple of good friends from growing up when I went to summer camp who are nurses in Manhattan. So like, New York City, like the epicenter of the outbreak, working on COVID floors. And like, just, I reached out to them a couple times and they're just like, they're so overwhelmed and they're so scared. Like it's terrifying. And, there isn't enough equipment for anything, like for the healthcare staff to, some of them were wearing trash bags recently because they didn't have, I know.
Well, so like I'm in marketing. That's like my field work that I do. And I really think that all of the, and I'm not saying that the essential workers aren't heroes. They are. They absolutely are. And what they're doing is important. More important than anything I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
But the marketing that's kind of going on right now, about how they're heroes and how they're sacrificing their lives and all this shit is like preparing us to, like, when we lose troops to war. It's like preparing us mentally for like mass deaths of essential workers.
Yeah.
Down the line, really because they're not being protected properly. Like,
yeah.
Have you been watching any? Have you been watching like TV? Have you seen the commercials and stuff?
Yeah, I've seen all those commercials, and
I hate them.
I know, I do too. And I was like, am I bad for hating them? Because like, obviously, like, as you said, like, they're doing stuff that's so much more important than anything I'll ever do in my life. Like, I've said it before, like, if the apocalypse truly broke out, I'd be like, oh, I'm so fucked because I'm an account manager for like software. So
I'd be like throwing a party.
Yeah, that's basically all I can do.
The one thing I know how to do.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I like can have fun, like, and like, throw a party and like be social and try to like lighten the mood a little bit. But like, as far as anything, like, I don't know, having to save a life or like even do anything like, oh, well, we need a car to escape, but like the car's broken, like any sort of like mechanical skills like that, don't have them.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. I have zero like handyman skills. Nope, none of that. So.
No, I'm useless. The same. I'm seriously fucking useless. Like,
I'm very useless.
You want to have a party or you want to eat a dope meal? I got you. But that's about it, honey.
Yeah.
I can clean too. But
yeah,
I have CPR training, but I don't know if I'd ever want to actually use it.
I don't even have that, so.
Oh. You get a little card.
Oh. Well, maybe after this is all
what do
done.
you miss the most?
I miss going out and being able to see my friends. I'm sure, like, in family, I'm sure so many people are saying that, but
it's fine.
Yeah, it's just I can't remember. Like, it's scary to me. I miss it so much, but it's also scary to me that like when things do start to lift and we're able to like go out again, like what's it going to actually be like when I see people and like see my family? Like is it going to be scary to like, are we going to be allowed to like hug people again? Like, am I going to want to? Like, I don't know.
Hugging to begin with, so.
So I miss that a lot. I miss being able to like go to a restaurant. And there's some aspects about like going into my office that I miss, like just the social interactions. I'm a social creature, so
I've had so many people say this like similar things, and it's made me realize how truly antisocial I am, because I don't feel that way at all.
Yeah,
at all. So I don't know where my disconnect is, but I miss going to a restaurant and stuff, but like, I'm all set with the social interactions and the hugging and
the thing is too, is like, I never, or like, you know, over the past few years, like we don't go out to like bars and hang out at bars or anything like that anymore. And we don't have like these like big parties or anything like that. We hang out with like the same, like, I don't know, like 5 to 10 people.
Same. No, totally same.
Yeah. And usually it's like, we will just have our friends over and like, we'll hang out and drink on the couch. And like, I really miss that. And then this past weekend when it was so nice out and like on Saturday, it was just like that first super nice spring day of the year, which like around here is always like, this is the day that like everyone is just like out and like you do go to like an outdoor bar or patio, like and drink, and like everyone is in such a good mood and like everyone around you is your friend. And like, I truly missed that this weekend too.
Yeah. So. We went to the Arboretum for a walk.
How has that been? Has it been super crowded?
It was, we waited till way later in the day. So we went around like 4 and it was okay. And then we got to the top of, Peters Hill, which like, you know, that's a hike. So we put in time.
Yeah.
Get up there. We get up there and it's fucking packed. We turned around. We like made it to the landing and we were like, nope, we turn around.
Yeah.
Because I was like, and there was tons of kids just like running around. What are you doing?
Yeah, I know. Matt and I tried to go for a walk. There's like a walking path. It's really beautiful. And by that, it's not at all. It's between the Mystic and then on the other side is 93.
Sounds gorgeous.
Beautiful. But it's like a nice kind of long walking trail. So, and bike path. So we tried to go on that was that on Saturday? I think it was Saturday. I can't remember anymore. But they were just like, yeah, people like letting their kids just like run wild. And like this little kid like came running up to me and was like, "Hi, I just want to say hi." And I was like, like
I would have started screaming.
Yeah,
like, I would have normally started screaming if there wasn't a pandemic and a child.
Yeah, yeah, it's like please stay away from me.
Christopher and I, whenever especially when we were like in Key West when we were trying to leave and stuff, we would just walk and be like, "Keep your Petri dish away from me." Yugami says he's been doing virtual lunches with his coworkers and virtual happy hours. Hi, you.
Yep.
Have you been doing that?
A lot of virtual happy hours. I do. My coworkers and I do 2 a week, and then we have just like a friend Zoom hang that's like a rolling invitation on Thursday nights, and then usually on like a Friday or Saturday, we'll do like a Google Hangout, and we have a Nintendo Switch, so we've been doing Mario Kart competitions.
So you like doing that stuff, the Zoom stuff?
I do.
Good for you.
Yeah. I assume you love it.
No.
I know.
I fucking hate it. But I know I need to adapt and embrace whatever.
Yeah. The
last thing I want to do is hang out with anyone past 5 p.m. when I've been on Zoom for 9 hours already.
Yeah.
Just saying. Like, that's my alone time.
Yeah, no,
I get that it works for a lot of people.
Yeah.
What movies, TV, music, books, games? Any recommendations for us at home?
Well, TV. So I have watched Sex and the City a million times, the whole series, like so many times. But on Saturdays, I spend the day like deep cleaning the condo. Like that is my Saturday activity.
I do it on Friday.
Yeah. And so I just will pop my AirPods in and I will carry my laptop from room to room. And I've just been binge watching the entire Sex and the City series.
It's such a good feeling.
It is. It's been very therapeutic. I'm really nervous for when I'm done with the series and then watch the movies too, even though the second movie was terrible.
The movie's so bad.
But I'll still, what else do I have to do? So I'll still watch them. But I just started season 6 yesterday.
Sex and the City, great recommendation. Everyone watching at home, watch Sex
Yeah. Yeah.
It's this show, I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Rewatch it. It's great. It's actually so bad, but it's so good.
It's terrible. It's like...
Yeah.
But it's good. It's, I grew up
Yeah. We watched McMillions on HBO.
I started that.
Yeah. Yeah, things spiral quite a bit there. I watched Little Fires Everywhere, the series on Hulu.
I heard that's good.
It's very good. Yeah, it was very good. Matt and I have been rewatching Dexter because like sometimes at night we just want to watch. I loved it.
I had an ex-boyfriend. He wasn't my ex when he started watching the show and he was obsessed with it. It's just like I immediately hated it. So it's like,
yeah, it's more of like just a thing to put on like if we are just like hanging out at night, but like also just kind of want to lurk on our phones and like not pay attention to anything.
Just have some murder in the background.
Yeah, just some casual murder.
Have you been thinking about going back and watching that show that you told me to watch last summer?
Oh, years and years.
Oh my god, I kind of want to go back and watch it.
I know. I'm like too scared to.
Me too.
Yeah. So Matt and I have talked about it, just being like, oh my god, it's like it's happening. It's absolutely happening.
So I bet a lot of people haven't seen it. Can you give like a brief synopsis commercial for that show? Because you sold me on it, and I don't usually take recommendations.
Yeah, so it is, if you like Black Mirror, it is a mini series that is very Black Mirror-esque of a not so distant future of just basically the state of the world and as things continue to unravel. And it has a little bit of everything in there, like between what technology might look like in a few years, what the worldwide political landscape looks like in a few years, especially if Trump continues to be president, and then if his family decides to be president too, and an economic standpoint, environmental, but like the environmental stuff is like all really subtle. Like they don't just like show like an ice cap melting. Like it's just everything about it is kind of like mentioned in passing.
It's super subtle.
It's just like, it's super subtle. And it just, as the world starts to change and unravel, and just like how messed up everything is, like, it's a
devastating show.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Well, it's so devastating too, because like, it's also just feels like so realistic. It's like not
it's really well done.
Yeah, it's just like really not that far-fetched at all, and it's terrifying. Like it shows like banks collapsing and like what happens with that, and you know, similar to this, where so many people who had like a ton of job security, like, you know, software engineers, for example, have always been in just like super, super high demand for jobs. Like there's like crazy referral bonuses for them. Like their salaries are always crazy high. Like you usually never saw a software engineer staying at a company for too long, because they could bounce to another company and make a shitload more money. Yeah. And also, like all of them are losing their jobs because like companies are just going under. So you also see like people in years and years who seemingly had like this great career, great job security, all of a sudden just lose it all.
I keep thinking of that specifically. Like that.
Yeah.
Everything in that show feels pretty real, possible, but
yeah,
that's like hit the nail on the head. That's like what's going on right now, or it's just about to go on.
Yeah. Yeah, I've thought about that. Like, oh my God, are we gonna have to like sell our place at a loss and then have to just like move in with my parents or Matt's parents? Like, what is gonna happen next?
We're just all gonna be living with our parents in like 2 years. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big American party.
Yeah.
So I ask everyone who is on the broadcast, because I think it's important to talk about what during all of this have you or have you not been doing for your mental health?
So I've always, not always been, but like over the past 5 or so years, like the gym has become a really important part of my routine. Like working out has been super, super good for my mental health.
Grace is a wrestler. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I wish. But no, like my gym has like created a really nice community too. It's been great. So when the gym closed, like that sucked. I was like, this is like what has kept me just totally like, I don't know. It's been really good. But I have continued to work out almost daily.
Good.
Yeah. So that has been super, super good for my mental health. And then also just like kind of realizing that it's okay to just sit back and do nothing for a day too. Cause like I also recently burned myself out because every day I was like, I have to work out, or like I have to do this like 2.5 hour deep clean of the condo, or I have to like go grocery shopping and then do all of our lunch meal prep for the week. And so basically I haven't just like sat down and done nothing for a while. So on Friday I took the day off and I literally did nothing.
I love it. I'm mid burnout right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think it's really important for mental health too, to just like take a step back and like just veg out and like do nothing. It's totally okay.
At the end of the month.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm not going anywhere this year.
I know. We were supposed to leave for this like huge bucket list trip to Japan in 2 weeks. Yeah. So that obviously has been canceled. So
shit.
Yeah. Like as everything was going down, it was like super upsetting. But then at the same time, like just as things continue to unravel, I'm like, honestly, I'm like not even upset about this anymore.
Yeah, I'd be like, there's no way in hell I'm going to Japan right now.
Yeah. Well, so at first I was like, oh, well, it's like Japan's like so close to China, like China's where everything broke out. Like it's just not a good time. But now I'm like, actually, I don't think anybody wants Americans to go anywhere because like nobody wants us because of our very, very horrible response to everything.
Did you see the video that China media some media outlet in China released like a day ago?
No, I didn't see that.
You have to look it up.
Okay.
I think it's called like a tale of pandemic or something like that, but it's done by Legos. You know how they do those animation recreation things sometimes in China for the news? So it's basically like how it all went down between China and America.
Oh my God.
Told by Legos.
Yeah, is it like funny or is it like
they're like we're all dying?
Yeah.
The American side's like this is a hoax.
Yeah.
It's not like sensationalized either. Like it's pretty spot on how it went down, which I usually think that the Chinese cartoon animation things that they do to recap stories are a little sensationalized, but this one
you saying hoax just really reminded me of like more of Trump and the GOP's response to everything and how like as everything first started coming out about coronavirus and like what was it, January or February, and Trump said it was a hoax.
Yep. A lot of people thought it was a hoax.
So that was good.
So that was awesome.
Yeah. And then Trump saying like there's 15 cases today, there'll be 0 tomorrow. And it's just like, well, here we are now.
Anyone who wants a test can get a test.
Yeah. It's definitely not true.
Well, for those of you who are new to the broadcast or are not familiar with it, at the last part of the broadcast, I give the guest an opportunity to have the final word. So Grace is going to have the chance to say something inspirational, share resources, sing a song, tell a joke. She could do whatever she wants, and I'm going to shut up. I'm finally out of new sunglasses, so you are now seeing sunglasses that I've previously worn on other broadcasts. I do apologize.
How many pairs do you have?
Grace, the floor.
I don't have too many inspirational things to say, but everyone
say whatever you want.
Yeah, please stay safe. Wear a mask. Nobody likes wearing a mask. It's uncomfortable. It sucks when it's warm out, but just, protect others. And respect the social distancing. Again, nobody fucking wants to do this. Not a single person likes it. No one wants to do it. Well, except for Kelly. Kelly's fine with it. But in general, like nobody wants to do this, but it's just what we got to do. And the better we respect these guidelines, the sooner things can start to get back to, I don't want to say normal because I don't know if we'll ever really get back to normal. But the sooner we'll be able to like go and do things again. And just take care of yourself. Take a day off, veg out, and go outside today. It's nice out if you're in Boston.
Yes, it's like 67 degrees right now, I think.
Yeah, I went for a walk right before this, and it was delightful. With a mask on. Right. With a mask on.
Those were wonderful words.
Thank you.
Here. Dimitri's posted the link to the video in the comments.
Oh, good. Thank you.
The propaganda video. Great. I freaking love you, and it was so hard for me not to call you Grace fucking Haler this whole show. That's how I know you.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking time to do this, and you had
Thanks for having me.
I hope that you made people think a lot.
I hope so. Maybe. We'll see.
Probably made some people mad. I don't care.
That's okay. I don't care.
Thank you everyone for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, all that stuff that makes me sound like a YouTube robot. But I really do appreciate you guys are doing this with me. There's only 12 shows left tomorrow. So get me while you can. Yeah. Tomorrow, though, tune in for everyone's favorite bartender in Boston, or personally my favorite bartender in Boston, Rudy Rower Camacho. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but I'm sure it'll be a great time because he is a great, positive, uplifting person. So Grace, thank you again.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll see you on some sort of Zoom hangout in the future.
I wouldn't want to put you through that, but
oh, you're so sweet. Everybody, please, I hope you tune in tomorrow. Stay safe, stay home, wear a mask, wash your hands, stay inside, and you should probably watch Years and Years on HBO.
Definitely. Oh, yeah. Definitely watch Years and Years. Do it.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.